Hey everybody, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Bold Brew Gaming. I know that we just played Terra Nil on Tuesday, but during the week I've played it a lot more, and I kind of better understand how to play the game. So I figured that it deserved one last go through, playing it a little more like I know how to play it, and at the same time, I have kind of had a rough week, and I've been trying to find a game to play on Steam, and despite there being an abundance of games to play on Steam, there's just a lot of them that seem to have issues. Like, I'll download them, and there were a couple games that I actually tried to play, but when I downloaded them, I couldn't resize them. So it was, my big monitor, which is probably like the biggest issue I have with this monitor is games when I'm trying to record them launching in full screen mode. So I apologize that we don't have anything new, but at the same time, it's like I said, I kind of had a rough week, and this game is just kind of brings good vibes to me. And like I said, I know how to play it a little bit better than I did when we touched on it last time. And it seems like it's a game that has quite a bit of potential, because I'm a sucker pretty much for anything procedurally generated or randomly generated, anything like that. So it scratches that itch when you need something that's just nice and kind of fun to play, visually appealing, but also a little bit challenging and something that doesn't get old that quickly. Like I said, because it's procedurally generated. And of course, this is just the demo, so hopefully the devs will have a field day with this game before it releases. And it'll be that much more interesting when the final product finally comes out. But for right now, like I said, wanted to revisit, because there were a few things I got to the final stage in Tuesday's episode, but I didn't really, I made some silly mistakes, which is, that's going to happen when you don't fully understand how to play a game, which comes with the territory when you're trying to get that first reaction for a video. One thing I didn't realize before is that high ground gives a water pump an advantage, so it spreads a lot further. And we also get a nice little waterfall out of it, so how about that? Maybe that is nice. I think right here will pretty much cover it for us, which is surprising. It normally... What the hell? You just said it would cross that. Am I stupid? Oh, I am stupid. Okay, that's a shame. Is this also an elevator? Oh, I see. It dips down, then it comes back up. Okay. That's a shame. Oh, well, we'll just stick it there. And maybe we'll squeeze another one in at some point. The thing with water in this game is it's very vital, because in areas like back here, where they don't have any power, you really need to use one of these. What is it, a calcifier? Yeah. You need to use a calcifier to get the sides of the water, to get rocks on them, so you can put a wind turbine there and subsequently, rejuvenate the land. But actually, we might be able to reach most of it, so that might not be as big of a deal as I initially thought it was going to be. You can actually stretch these things out pretty far, as you can probably see. Like, that's the limit, but it seems like only one part of it needs to be within the actual square. Like, you can go one step outside, which is nice, and just reaching some of those extra areas. And like that. Actually, probably could have done better with that one if I put it a little bit further away. There we go. Let's see, kind of get the max out of this. But yeah, like I said, I kind of just had a weird week ever since about last Thursday, actually. Just some stuff went down with my job, and then last Thursday I went on vacation. Ooh, that put me way too low over here. The thing is, like, it seems like even if your resources just touch zero, then you lose the game. Even if you could come back from it, technically, like this is going to net me 174. But I think if I would have done that when I had, well, I don't know, maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I wasn't paying attention. I was putting down too much dirt and not putting down nearly enough of these irrigators. So that is my bad. I'm glad I caught that before I had to restart the whole stage. But yeah, something just went down at my work, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And then over the weekend, I went on vacation with my girlfriend and her family down to the beach for like the 4th of July. But that interaction at work kind of just hung over my head the entire time I was down there. I tried to not let it get to me, but it's just one of those things that you kind of have anxiety about the whole time. Or it's one of those things where you're having a good time and then you're almost, okay, it's kind of a waste, but I'll stick it there anyway. It's just one of those things that you're like, oh, well, why was I even upset? And then you're like, oh, you remember it and you think about it for a few seconds and you're like, yeah, that's why I was upset, which is a bummer and something I wish like I could avoid, but sometimes that's just how your brain works, you know. It wants you to focus on those negative things, which is kind of a bummer. But so the point was, like, that thing happened right before I went on vacation, which is tragic. And so I kind of thought about it all of my vacation, and that weighed down my vacation. And then I finally had to come back and go back to work, and it was like, and then it just weighed on me every day. So it wasn't anything too bad. It was just one of those things where you kind of wind up in a situation that you wish you weren't in. I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. And I've been alternating between like feeling really good and feeling kind of shitty all week. So that brings us to here. It's kind of why I'm trying to play this game, restore the world a little bit, and try to make things feel a little bit better. This game has a very nice soundtrack. I definitely appreciate that a lot. Soundtracks can get overlooked sometimes, I think. You're not given enough attention in a game. Can I get that somewhere? Nah, it's not really worth it. Okay, so we pretty much just gotta make a little bit more of this green. Like that. That do fucking 99%. I should have known. That'd be good enough. I know it'll be good enough for... I just try to get the most out of each placement. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. So the first thing I like to do when I get these tab 2 options is place down a research center. So all of the respective buildings that lower in cost. Not all of them lower in cost, but a good chunk of them do. Which helps out in the long run because you don't want to be late game and then finding yourself struggling for resources. Another big thing that this does, like I said, water is very important, and this excavator comes in very important. And that way, you know, you can reduce the footprint. I don't know if it reduces the area that it harms around it, these red areas that get turned back into wasteland, but it certainly makes the areas that you can place them down a lot more abundant, which is very nice. So let's stick one of those there so we can get some power in this area. Make this area a bit greener. I think right about there. So I've spent a lot of the week trying to feel better, if that makes sense. And it's one of those things, like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I almost feel bipolar sometimes in certain ways, because I'm like, yeah, like I finally got some endorphins back. I feel better about things. I feel more positive about the way things are going. And then by the time later that day swings around, I'm like back to feeling down, bad, and just struggling to, how do I say? Struggling to make things feel normal again and feel all right again. I have thought about like attending therapy at some point, which I think is just a good thing for people to do in general. I'm one of those people that says, "Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea for people to do," and then I don't do it myself. So should probably stop being such a hypocrite and go do what I need to do, huh? But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like trying to find a good spot and you're hoping that you're not going to the wrong place, but whatever. So, yeah. I downloaded The Witness again. I don't know if anyone who is currently here was with me when I was playing The Witness the last time, because that was like years ago. I didn't really play it so much as I just like constantly looked up guides for it, because I'm not a very big avid puzzle solver, but I really like all the philosophical tapes that they put in the game. There's actually a video on YouTube that I love listening to, and it's just a compilation of all of the, you know, philosophical bits and some behind the scenes stuff that are present in the game, and I just find that very soothing to listen to. And so I re-downloaded it. I waited till it was on sale, and then I re-downloaded it and started playing through it a little bit. I'm trying to do it more on my own this time around, so like I can actually, because there's very few puzzles that I actually remember like the solutions to off the top of my head. So like I said, trying to get the experience a little bit more this time, but it is pretty hard because I might be many things, but I am not a puzzle solver. Kind of maximize our flower coverage there. Okay. So now we need to burn some areas. And let's see, where would be a good spot to do that? I think over here probably, because this area has a lot of flat land, because this is obviously going to destroy a lot of the flower biome. I don't know what each of these are called, but was that a colossal misstep? No, okay, because I still no, that was not good placement. Okay, well, where else? Maybe around here, because it needs to burn some buildings down in enough of an area that where you can actually grow a forest from it. That's a little bit better. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. Oh, that's a lot of bit better. Oh hell yeah. Woo! That was some good coverage. So I realized last time, or not last time, I realized as I was still... Oh! I did not realize the fire kept spreading. Damn, okay. I was like, why is the fucking fire audio still playing? I thought it was done. No, burn half the map down. So like this plus and minus 24, 15, 9 right here is just like talking about these resources that it will net you a negative or positive. And doesn't factor into the total coverage that you're getting down here. Last time I thought that it was saying, oh, if I do this, I'm going to wind up with negative coverage. Doesn't really make sense now that I think about it, but that's just what I thought the game was telling me. Oh, yeah, baby. Very pretty. And that'll do it for us for the forest. So another thing I figured out, if it wasn't abundantly clear, is you do not have to 100% reclaim this map. That would be pretty fucking crazy if that's what you had to do. But no, that is not the challenge here. The challenge is really just, it's kind of like a hard game to play without understanding how things interact with each other later in the game, because you have to set this stuff up before you need it. You know what I mean? Like, you need to pretty much need to know what stages 2 and 3 are going to ask for before you even start placing stuff down in level 1, because that'll help you like optimize. Like, I had to put this big, what do they call it? Excavator. I had to put this big excavator down. If I waited till now to do that, to get some water in here, then I would have, you know, destroyed this land around it and just had to waste more resources building it back up. But once you understand it, so far, it's pretty easy to grasp. And of course, this is just a demo. So I'm hoping, like in the full version, that they will do something a little like, you know, maybe bringing about more customization, making like tech trees, things like that. Hopefully being allowing you to edit the map to like small, medium, large maps, doing things like that. I would very much assume, I think I'm gonna have to, that's a shame. Oh, well, we'll probably do that first, huh? This. And add some grass, then add the bees. Okay, good. And now we start the cleanup process. So this is kind of where I screwed up last time, because I didn't understand, again, I didn't understand how the game would actually function with this. So while you don't have to 100% complete the map, during the recycling phase, you do have to 100% pick up all of the stuff, all the buildings that you put down, that you still have standing. You know, the buildings that have burned down, you don't have to pick those up, but everything else you do. So ideally, you put this in like a place that has a lot of river access, and then you place your little drone down. So a recycler, like, it picks up a whole bunch of buildings at one time and stores them. And it's nice because you do get a portion of that back. And then this has a certain radius that you can use to grab the recycler and also any other buildings that may be just outside of their reach. So that way you don't have to waste resources on putting another recycler down, because it may net you a negative. In this case, let me try. Can I reach back there? Okay, I can pretty much reach right up to that tree line. So I'm going to stick this right there. That's not going to be enough to get all of this, but hopefully it's enough to get most of it. Just get it out of the way for later. Oh, I forgot. A recycler will also pick up another recycler if it's within its range. So that's like, I suppose if you have stuff way away from a river, you can kind of like leapfrog it up to somewhere close where the recycling bot can actually grab it. I need to get that windmill right there. And so, kind of an interesting thing that's a little problematic right now. So I can't place this down up here because there's no path, because as you can see right here, this is an elevated position and there's waterfalls here. So what I should do is place down this like water elevator, right? What is this thing even called? A pound lock. That's cool, except it counts as a building. So then when I place this down to gather the resources, this boat is going to go up that pound lock. Very cool. And then it's going to collect the buildings, including the pound lock that it just went up. So you need to like place the pound lock down again. Okay, I don't know why. Apparently that just doesn't do it for it. Can you reach that one? Okay, apparently that one worked. I'm not sure what the issue was there, but so yeah, it's like a slight point of frustration. I suppose if you had, like, if there was like a long line of waterfalls here, and then this whole area was in an elevated position, then you could send the boat and it could get all of its stuff, and then at the very end would come back and you could delete the pound locks. But for right now, I really don't I've yet to see such a long area of highland. You know, it's usually sporadically interspersed between levels of lowland, so it creates these really small waterfall areas that present that issue. That's kind of the only like gripe I have about the game right now. It's very fun. Like I said, it procedurally generated. Yeah, that's good. I have plenty of resources at this point. I'd like to avoid doing the water thing here just so I don't have to set up that pound lock and go in that, or have that issue again later. See if I can grab that recycler with that one. And by the time he gets up there, might actually, hopefully that's in range. I guess we're about to find out. Yeah! That's efficiency, baby. And once you get below a certain threshold, the game will point out all the buildings you still have to get. So it's not like you're gonna get lost trying to look around here and then there's like a little tiny arboretum like sticking out from behind a tree. No, it will point you in the right direction. I thought about just doing a talking video today, but I didn't want to like last night is when I really should have done it, because there was a lot of thoughts going through my head last night, and it was oh, I don't know if that's gonna get that. Will it? I don't know. Let's try it out. But yeah, I spent a lot of time kind of conversing with myself last night, which I hope doesn't sound too weird. It's just something I like doing. I kind of just basically interviewing myself about how I'm feeling, what kind of thoughts I'm having and stuff like that. That is a shame. No, it did not get it. Okay. Well, instead of having to put down a pound lock, let me just do that. That way we can grab all these buildings. Probably what I should have done in the first place. That one down there, and we need one right there, and that's pretty much going to do it, I think. Yep, because that's going to get that one, and... oh, I messed up. Not a big mess up, I just didn't see that windmill. Yeah, I think everything's accounted for. Cool. So now we're just waiting on the drone. But yeah, I was really thinking about this stuff hard last night. I should have just done a talking episode, which I really like doing. I think I was busy, like, doing laundry and listening to this. Well, actually, I wasn't listening to a philosophy podcast at that point, but I was just very in my own head, and that would have been the perfect time to do a talking video. But, oh well. I guess it happens sometimes, you know. We can't be happy all the time, or like... you can be content most of the time, I think, but being actively happy is something you can't really get all the time. Launch that. Hell yeah. Satisfying. And what's a nice little bonus? As the airship turns around, look at that. It picks up the little drone. We're not leaving him behind. Hell yeah. And then you fly off. Wasteland reclaimed. And you see there's still a large portion of this that is not even like brought up to the fertile soil stage. It's still just, it's either burned or it's wasteland. Zoom out. And I think this is pretty cool. It shows you the whole planet you're trying to rehabilitate. And you see down there at the bottom, that whole island, you know, gets greened. So I would assume maybe during the full game, they'll have like levels or stages, and each one will get progressively harder or more mountainous. Hopefully we'll have, you know, a greater variety in terrain so that, you know, maybe like you have lowlands, highlands, and then like mountains, so you might have multiple stages of those pound locks going on and stuff like that. So I think this has the potential to be a really great game. I'm definitely going to keep an eye open for when it's fully released, and I would like to play it at least a few more times on the channel. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. It's like I said, I wasn't planning on playing Terra Nil twice in a row, but it kind of was the only one that fit the bill right now, to kind of help improve my mood a little bit, which it did. I enjoy this game, and it was the only option I had after a bunch of these other games that I tried to play wouldn't shrink to 1920 by 1080. Technical problems, I guess. But I really appreciate y'all tuning in and spending a little bit of your time hanging out with me. And I hope y'all are feeling well. I hope the world's treating you okay. I know things are kind of crazy right now with everything, but we got to remember to take care of ourselves, right? Make sure to drink lots of water, eat lots of food, and stay happy and stay healthy. I feel like I should probably amend that, because it is kind of an impossible goal, isn't it, to stay happy. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put a little bit more thought into that. That rebranding that I've been talking about is going to happen very soon, probably within the next week. I just need to make some final changes on my end to really get everything rolled over right at the same time. Like I've said before, nothing's changing, just the name, just making things a little bit more streamlined for where I'm at in life right now. So, like I said, thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see you all here Tuesday. Bye-bye, everybody.